most common questions I get asked as a financial advisor is, what should I do with my old 401k plan? Derek Mazzarella here with Gateway Financial Partners. I'm going to explain what are the 4 options you have when it comes to your 401k rollover. So the first option you have is actually just cashing that bad boy out. So what that means is that there's $10,000 in your 401k. You take that $10,000 out, and now you have it. You can use it to spend. You can do whatever you want with it. The benefit is you're getting some dough right now. The downside is you're paying taxes plus a 10% penalty. And the other downside I would add is if you're putting money into a retirement plan, it should be there for retirement. So if you cash it out, that money is now not allocated for retirement, and it could hurt your ability to retire later on down the line. And it's obviously not effective from a cost standpoint to put money in there just to take it out later. Your other option, you can do nothing, or you could just stay with your current plan. The benefit is you get to stay invested, so the money's still there, it's invested. It can continue to grow. You can continue to change your investments within the plan. You do have a level of creditor protection with a 401k plan, which is nice. And depending on how the plan works, the fees could be a little lower, how good it is. The downside is you really can't add anything extra to the plan. So if you had extra $500 you want to throw in the 401k plan at an old employer, you're not allowed to do that. Your next option is if your new employer offers it, you can roll it over into the new 401k plan. So you're going to have basically most of the same benefits. You're still going to invest the money in whatever investments you have in the new 401k plan. You get to carry over that creditor protection. The fees, they could be higher or lower, so it's good to understand how those work. And you can continue to add more to it. It doesn't affect your company match. So that's one question I always get. If you do or don't roll money over, that still won't affect your new company's match. The match only applies to new contributions that you do into the plan. Okay. The last option is rolling it over into an individual retirement account or IRA. There are some different benefits compared to a 401k. One of them is investment flexibility. And what that means is usually the 401k provider or your employer is choosing about 30 or 40 mutual fund options for you in the plan. With an IRA, you have literally thousands of investment options, and you get to choose those. Instead of you choosing between a menu of 40, you're choosing between almost an infinite amount of investment options. 2 is you have more control. So you get to control the IRA, it's yours. What 401ks can have are called blackout periods. And what that means is if they're rolling into a new provider, they may shut the plan down for a week or so you can't trade, you can't make any changes to your plan while they're transitioning to the new provider. So you don't have to worry about that with an IRA. The other piece of it is you want to really understand is the fees. So sometimes, depending on what you're investing in with the IRA, the cost of the investments may be higher than the fees you're paying in the 401k plan. So you really want to make sure you understand how that works. Just know on average that a small company 401k typically will have higher fees than a much larger company's 401k plan. So if you want to use that as a perspective. The downside is that creditor protection doesn't really carry over to an IRA. So no creditor. So that is one kind of outlier there. So if you are have any worries about being sued or anything like that, you're better off keeping money in a 401k plan. The other piece of it is just a general flexibility with the IRA. So one of the things you can do with an IRA is convert it to a Roth IRA fairly easily. With a 401k plan, you're limited in most plans don't even allow for you to convert a traditional 401k plan to a Roth 401k plan. So if let's say the market drops, now you have an opportunity to convert the IRA at a lower tax benefit than you would with a 401k option. So it does give you some more flexibility in what you can do with an IRA versus a 401k plan. So deciding what's right for you is always going to be a personal choice. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out. Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners.